All right, and we're live here with Sample Serve Masterclass Wednesdays. How you doing, everybody? Thank you for joining us this afternoon and this evening or morning, whether you're watching this later. I'm Joshua Paul of Sample Serve, the product manager here, and I have with us Russell Schindler. He's the founder, CEO of Sample Serve. Say hi, Russell.
Good afternoon.
I said say hi.
Oh,
He's
hi.
got 35 years of environmental experience, probably more now. Let's not add it up. He's a professional geologist, and what we like to do on these Wednesdays is we like to, show you around our platform. We like to bring on experts from the industry. We like to bring on users to talk about their experiences. And we usually talk about our Sample E&V platform, which is our sampling and reporting platform for environmental professionals. It handles multiple types of media. It's got project management tool, mobile app, lab app, graphics and reporting, all kinds of tools for everybody involved in the data chain. And if you have any questions or comments during this, just leave them in the chat. We'll get to it. And even afterwards, we'll get to it as well. And if you think if this would be helpful to anybody leave this link to them as well. And don't forget to like and follow our LinkedIn page as well, because we do this every Wednesday. So let's get started, Russell.
Okay, I'm ready.
Why digital transformation is no longer optional. We're starting this off in 2025 because, we've been kind of saying 2023, we were saying, hey, the industry is beginning to make a transformation. 2024, we're saying, hey, you're going to be the ones left out. It's coming. And then 2025, now we're here. It's like, this is it. This is probably going to be one of the last years that, it's really going to help you transform now.
I've been saying it a lot longer than that. So
right.
I started saying it about 2007. So
yeah. You can feel it in the air though.
Yeah. Well, and it's really it's more of a kind of a culmination, but you don't have to be Nostradamus to figure out that things are going digital, right? I mean, that's been predicted, since the 80s.
Yeah. I think it's actually in one of Nostradamus's
predictions.
Yeah. Environmental data collection will go digital by 2025. I think that's exactly word for word of one of his.
One of the last chapters in his book.
Yeah. So let's get on with it. So what we're trying to do, what Sample Serve really is trying to do, is we're trying to solve the pain points that Russell himself experienced back in the day when Sample Serve was a sampling company. A third-party sampling company, going out in the field and experiencing communication breakdowns with either the lab, project managers, getting bottles ordered and figuring out what you need to do. Tell us about that story, Russell, about that time you went out and you're ready to start sampling and they're like, wait, we don't even know where you're going to go yet. Hold on.
Oh, my God. That's you want to talk about frustration, so we were a third-party sampling company, and we literally drove all the way to Massachusetts for this project, and we get there and they're still trying to figure out where they want to sample, right? And you're like, come on, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to tell me every well, just tell me one. Just give me one. And then when I'm done, tell me another one. Let's just keep going. So
yeah. So it's solving issues like this is what we're really trying to do, and making sure that you're collecting accurate data, good in, good out, as they say, and able to scale so that you can control bigger projects, more people at the same time, and to give
and being able to see the project very quickly and kind of look at things in a lot of different ways and views helps you plan for the next step. So it's not just the planning part; it's the whole culmination of getting the information and then being able to set up a plan.
Yeah. And a lot of these projects, whether you're doing wastewater, drinking water, groundwater, soil vapor, soil, any kind of sampling that you're doing in the environmental world right now, it all requires the use of multiple streams of communication and planning, multiple platforms, you're in Excel over here, and then you're over here in Outlook, and then you're over, in some kind of web app that is only built for taking notes or collecting form data and stuff like that. None of those things talk to each other.
Yeah, they call it a multi-tenant platform. So you've got different users that all have different needs and different pieces of information they need. They don't all see the same thing, but they see what they need to see, and that's really the important part. The labs don't need to see where the well is located, right? They just need to see that they got a sample from that well and that you're planning on sampling it so they can get you the bottle. So they see what they need to see and nothing else. And they see it when they need to see it too. So that's really the, multi-tenant platform where everyone's communicating, but they're not all looking at the same stuff because some things are more important to some groups than they are to others.
Right. Each user gets only the information that they need to get.
Yeah.
Essentially.
When they need it.
When
they need it. So
yeah. So the project manager really sets everything up, and on the web app, and they'll schedule things out for, years in advance if they'd like. The lab will see that gets communicated to all the field techs automatically. And everybody's on the same page. And even the stakeholders, even the property owners or anybody else that you'd like to be involved will be able to see this as well.
And, one of the important things that I think often gets overlooked is if your field people are connected to the cloud while they're out in the field, the project manager can sit in the office and see the data as it's coming in. They'll see the photographs they've taken. So there's been many instances where people have told us stories about they were able to correct some information, or they just flat out go, hey, you're on the wrong well, go sample the right well, just because they're looking at the photographs. So that's really one of the other benefits of a multi-tenant platform where everyone's connected and kind of seeing the information as it comes in.
Yeah, and that's really the biggest problem solver in going digital is just the communication. The other one that really helps is data accuracy and integrity. If you're using field forms, just paper field forms out there, you can write anything. There's nothing controlling if you're writing a dash, a comma, the wrong type of number, anything like that. But when you're using a digital platform, there can be built-in validation checks that allow you to control what kind of data is coming in. And the nice thing about this platform is that, once you put in a sample location name, nobody's ever going to need to write that down again. It's going to be transferred from, the project work scope all the way to the field app when you're collecting data onto the chain of custody through the lab and then back at you with the lab results.
If you write MW5 without the dash, on your paper, somebody else could put a dash in. Well, digital products are going to look at those as two different IDs. So using digital, you're selecting. So the first time you type it in is the last time you have to type it in. You're going to be selecting things from that point on. So sample IDs don't get changed, which is a big problem. And, the picture you got there, it also has geofencing built in. So it's just another way, which you can set the range in which you want it to pop up if there's a notice. Most people are going with like 10 meters. If you're more than 10 meters away from the location, it's going to pop up a notice, right? Like, hey, you might be on the wrong well. So you can set that. You can set that down to 1 meter if you want to.
Right. And also, like with real-time data entry, you're going to be able to see, like you said before, this data coming in on the other side, in the office, and you can start pumping out this data on maps as soon as that data is uploaded. You can
do a groundwater contour within minutes of them collecting that last groundwater elevation. So.
Right. Yeah, and the nice thing, like we were just talking to a client earlier about compliance and auditing. One of their biggest worries was like, hey, if the state comes in and says, where's your data? You're going to have it all in one spot easily. Right. You can get it all downloaded to your device in one click of a button. It'll always be there. It's safe, secure. We use the top-notch cloud storage that's out there, and it's pretty easy. It makes it everything. So that way you're not fumbling through files. You're not going deeper and deeper into folders in your computer, trying to look for that one COC that you made, 6 months ago. And it's all just going to be there, easily findable. Scalability and flexibility. This is kind of the thing that a lot of people don't really understand about, with the way digital products can help you, because it's going to allow you to essentially control more people, more projects, more doing in one spot than any other type of system, because it's a one-stop hub. Everything's going to be controllable. You have all your projects in one platform. You're going to know when the next thing's happening. You're going to know when the next thing after that's going to be happening as well.
Yeah, and it also there's a phenomenon when like one company selling to a larger company and they've got a lot of environmental projects, like oil companies will buy up a smaller oil company and they might have 100 gas stations. Well, you're going to be able to manage that due diligence without having to copy and send files and make, you just basically give them access, and now they can go and look at and do their own due diligence very quickly. And it's going to save a ton of money on those types of transactions.
Yeah.
So
just invite them as a user.
Yeah. And getting all your historical data and, tracking new data as you go out and sample, it's all right there. You can upload all, 30 years of historical data with one drag and drop. And it's all in there. So if you're trying to do a due diligence project, this is the perfect platform for it. It's going to make it really simple. And all you got to do is give them access to those projects you want them to look at. And your, buyer can go in there and kind of review as they feel like they need to review. So,
right. And the last one we got listed here is continuous integration of new features. This is really important because a lot of people don't realize that all the new features that we add into this platform come from the users.
Yep.
They come from us meeting with our current users, or possibly new users that aren't using us yet but want to. Yep. And that's where we add these new features in. For instance, we're building our next launch that's coming out is going to be alerts and alarms. Essentially, if you miss a scheduled sampling event, we're going to be able to alarm anybody that you'd like, a text, email that says, hey, you missed something, or hey, something didn't arrive at the lab yet, or all kinds of instances where something gets missed and we can tell you about it.
Right. We've got a couple of clients. I'll just give you, for instance, where they need to do a bacteria sampling on a wastewater treatment plant effluent every day. And if that effluent doesn't get delivered to the laboratory by 1 p.m., they want a text alert and an email alert to go out to certain plant managers so that they can make sure that gets solved before the laboratory closes. So those are the kind of things, if it's delivered to the lab by 1 p.m., nothing happens, right? Everything's good. But the term is called managed by exception. So if something goes wrong, you'll get an alert, and then you're hopefully in time for you to correct it before there's any fines or penalties.
Right. And this is just, these are really important. These are a lot of small advantages that add up, and they all combine, and the sum is greater than the parts, right? It's like, so now you're not missing projects. You're able to communicate with your teammates better. Your data is going to be a lot more stable and accurate. And so it's just a lot of these, you're saving a little bit of time in the field. You're saving 20% over here and 20% over here. So it's just kind of these small things that start stacking up, and eventually,
if you just have one project, not that big a deal. But if you've got 500 projects and you're trying to track that, it becomes a lot more cumbersome. That's the scalability part.
Yeah. And that's where the competitive advantage comes from. Companies that are using, advanced digital tools that are taking the time. And that's the really biggest part about these types of systems is you got to just take a little bit of the time out of your day and just kind of get into it, set up your stuff. It doesn't take long with SampleServe. It really takes just maybe like just take a half a day towards just kind of getting your project set up. Go out, plan all your stuff for the year. We can train your staff for you. We have training sessions all the time for new clients. And, once that's set up, usually everybody especially the field techs, once everything's going and, 3 months in, they're saying, hey, why didn't we do this a long time ago? This only makes sense,
Yeah, and our training's built into the app, so you don't have to sit for 4 hours.
Right, yeah.
Before you get started.
You don't need a certificate.
Just log in and then just start watching the training videos, which are between 1 and 4 minutes long for each little section. So it kind of, teaches you as you go. So, and then by the time you've done your third or fourth project in there, you're an expert at it. You can get them done in just a few minutes. So it's really pretty intuitive and pretty simple to learn. So
our biggest hurdle in the environmental industry with digital products is procrastination. It's really just, I'll do it tomorrow.
It's fear too. People are afraid of digital stuff because they had a bad experience somewhere.
Right, exactly.
And the one thing I will say on the competitive advantage part, it may require that you change your business model a little bit, right? If you're billing time and materials and it took you, 3.5 days to get your report out the door, typically. Well, if you're using our platform, you're going to get it out the door in about 10% of the time that it took you before. Right. So time and materials billed by the hour business models, maybe not the way to go. You may want to switch to a lump sum where you're just going to charge them whatever you were charging them before, just a flat rate, but you're getting it done a lot faster.
Right.
So,
and there's a lot of businesses out there that are very hesitant about that because they're not sure. They're like, well, I'm not sure how long it's going to.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it's going to come down to your competitors are going to be doing this eventually. Yeah. And it's just going to be the way the industry goes because it's the way every industry has really been going.
Right, this is not some kind of outlier industry that can't go digital. It is the same as every other industry.
Right.
Going to be disrupted by digital tools like SampleServe.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really it. It's eventually everybody's going to go digital, and depending on what product or platform you're on, doesn't matter. They're all going to be saving more, doing more with less, and it's going to be a different type of industry and a different model that you're competing against.
Yeah.
Making faster decisions, and so it's really an improvement for everybody as a whole. Whether you're using SampleServe or something else, it's really gonna, it's cutting down the time and the materials that everything is being used for this whole industry. And do you have anything final to add, Russell? I kind of want to get here done by 20 minutes.
Yep. Well, no, just that it is going to be different workflow. But I can tell you, field technicians are our biggest fans because they get out there and they say, they're home faster. They don't have to go back to the office and spend an hour entering data because by the time they leave the site, all the data is already in the cloud. And we can show you on the mobile device exactly that has happened. So you can rest assured that all your data is safely tucked away in the cloud. And then it's ready to be reported on. So, within minutes of the lab showing you, sending you your lab data, you can have that report out the door. So deliverables are faster. You can send that invoice out faster and get paid faster. So, so there's just tons of advantages.
And the nice thing about our platform is we're the more users there are, the better. So what we really do is we like to push, collecting your data for free, depending on the media that you're taking.
Yep.
The project management tool, the mobile app, the lab app is always free for labs. The project management tool, mobile app, depending on the media, if you're going out and doing groundwater right now, you can sign up for this platform right now. It can start using the field app in the field, collecting data at no cost.
The only businesses that we have a different pricing point is for drinking water and wastewater. And the reason is they don't really have any graphics that they need. So for all other media, groundwater, soil, that type of stuff, surface water, you're going to need the graphics. But so we give away the project management tool and the mobile field app at no cost. And then you can opt into our graphics. You don't have to do it, but 95% of our customers decide to use our graphics. So it's because they're good quality and they're improving all the time. And,
saves a lot of time.
Saves a lot of time. The idea is to deliver that product to your customer and as an efficient possible, in a way that's efficient as possible, but still maintaining good quality, and then get paid, for that value that you're delivering.
Right. So. Yeah. This is really the whole reason why everybody's doing this, it's just find out where it's at, what's going on. Yeah. And if you want to get a better, more in-depth, showcase of the SampleServe platform, we do have a virtual demo on our website, sampleserve.com, big button virtual demo there. It's got little short videos going over each portion of the platform and how it works. You can skip ahead, go back whenever, and you can also schedule
25 minutes to get through all of them, something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And you can go to just the portions that are important to you as well.
Yeah, and it's not Josh and I trying to sell you or anything like that. You can book a live demo if you want to do that as well, but if you just want to see how it works, see if it's a good fit for your workflow, go and check out the virtual demo.
Yeah, and you can also sign up for an account. We don't ask for any type of payment method until you decide to start using our reporting or graphics functionality, and that's not until after you've already tried it out for a while.
Yeah, so we give free trials.
Yeah, we're pretty slack on how long those go. Yeah. So, all right, I think we're good there. Good masterclass for the beginning of the year. I think we're going to be pushing out more of these, and we're going to be bringing on some more guests soon too, which is going to be exciting.
Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, guys and girls. And We'll see you next week. Thanks.